You know that person who's perfectly happy staying in while everyone else is rushing out the door? The one who would rather sink into the couch and binge a show than get dressed for a night out. It's easy to label them as introverted or lazy. But the truth is, there's a lot more going on under the surface. Enjoying the comfort of home isn't just a habit. It's a real psychological pattern, and in many ways, it can actually be a strength. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand why some people truly flourish at home, and you might even recognize yourself somewhere in this story. Here's something important to understand. Not everyone who loves staying home does it for the same reason. Yes, they all feel calmer in their own space, but what drives that preference can be very different from person to person. Let's break it down. For some people, staying home isn't a choice, it's something life pushed them into. Maybe they've been through emotionally draining experiences, exhausting jobs, or unhealthy relationships that made the outside world feel overwhelming. For them, home becomes a place of relief. It's not about being lazy or antisocial. It's about survival. Their personal space turns into a safe zone, somewhere they can breathe, recover, and put themselves back together. Home becomes the quiet center in the middle of a storm. These people might actually enjoy being around others, but only after they've had enough time alone to recharge. If they spend too long out in the world, they start craving the calm of their own space just to feel like themselves again. Then there's another group, the true introverts. For them, being at home isn't just comforting. It's essential for their mental and emotional balance. Social interactions, especially high-energy ones, drain them faster than most people realize. So home is where they go to refill their inner battery. It's not that they dislike people. They simply understand their limits. Too much noise, too much stimulation, and they burn out. At home, they can drop the act. No small talk, no performing, just peace, authenticity, and quiet. And then there's a particularly interesting group, the creatives. These are the people who do their best thinking alone. For them, home isn't only a place to relax, it's where ideas are born. Writers, artists, musicians, and deep thinkers often discover that their creativity flows best when they're undisturbed in their own environment. They're not hiding from the world. They're diving inward. Their home becomes a kind of mental workshop, a private lab where ideas grow before being shared with anyone else. Another group prefers home for a simpler reason. They don't enjoy crowds or loud environments. But this doesn't automatically make them introverts. Busy, noisy places overwhelm them, drain their energy, and make enjoyment feel like work. For them, fun means doing things on their own terms, without pressure or chaos. They don't hate people, they just avoid noise. Home gives them the quiet space where they feel grounded and fully themselves. Despite their differences, all of these people share one belief, whether they realize it or not. They've learned that peace doesn't come from constant stimulation. But here's where things get complicated. The line between peace and isolation is very thin. Stay in comfort without movement for too long, and peace can slowly turn into loneliness. Stay in silence too long, and your mind starts looping. Overthinking creeps in. Motivation fades. Growth stalls. Without realizing it, the same comfort that once protected you can become the thing that keeps you stuck. So here's the honest, healthy truth. It's okay to love your space. It's okay to enjoy being alone. Just don't let it disconnect you from life completely. Step outside sometimes, even if it's just for a short walk, some sunlight, or a brief conversation with someone who feels safe. Home should be where you rest, not where you hide. You don't need to force yourself to be loud, outgoing, or overly social. What you need is balance. Moments of solitude and moments of living. Because solitude strengthens your inner world. But the outside world reminds you that you're still part of something bigger. So which group do you see yourself in? Were you pushed home by life? Are you a true introvert? A creative soul? Someone who avoids noise and crowds? Or maybe you're a mix of several. Drop a comment and tell me. I'd love to hear your story. This is Unordinary Psychology. I'd really appreciate it if you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell.